family. It is 4:40 right now in the morning. This is day 17 of waking up at 4 in the morning every day until I'm rich. I'll take you guys through my morning routine a little bit, waking up at 4 in the morning. I'm about to go on my run pretty soon. I'll make my to-do list and all that. And then we'll talk about some stuff relating to brain rot and how the media actually holds you back and controls you in a sense. I know this is kind of common knowledge, but we all find ourselves stuck in that loop regardless most of the time. So we'll go into some ways to kind of break that and some ways that it's implemented into our lives without us even realizing. So stick with me. We'll go through some self-improvement stuff and we'll talk later. Another rainy day out. It's cold. I don't want to be here. You hear that bird? He doesn't care what time it is. He just knows this is time to chirp. That's all it is, you know? You get out here, you don't want to be here. You start going, halfway through you're like, all right, it ain't that bad. It could be a lot worse, I'll tell you. So be happy, you're blessed. For every bad, there's a good. For every good, there's a bad. For every bad, there's an extreme bad. So not too bad off after all. All right, y'all. Catch you later. All right, y'all. I'm back. Hit the gym a little bit earlier today. Hit some legs. That was nice. I did some lower rep range, compound, heavy type movements. So fun, you know, keeping the strength, especially while I'm doing these runs and stuff. But today is day 17, and the topic of the day is brain rot. Now, if you are someone who finds yourself staring at your phone for too long during the day, you'll look up and it's already been an hour or two, this is for you. Do you ever feel like your life is kind of changed since you were younger? Suddenly, all the events and things you do and places you go, people you see, don't hold the same magic or doesn't have the same appeal as it used to? Everything seems kind of far away, and it's not that it's range-wise, it's just, you know, it might be right in front of you. It just seems like there's a disconnect. And I've noticed that a lot more as well because, you know, things with phones, TVs, computers, things that I need to do my work and to properly operate a business, I have to be on them all throughout the day. You know, my old job, I had to use it to sign into work. I had to use it every time I would look at an account. It's safe to say social media, phones, all of these things have essentially consumed us in our mental. So I wanted to give 3 ways that you can kind of restore your brain, your dopamine, and become present once again in your life. So the first way to kind of escape from these shackles, if I may, would be through a dopamine detox, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard about, and it is kind of jumping in headfirst into the deep end. But I had done this about 2 years ago. I think it was for 4 months that I deleted all my social medias. I didn't have any games on my phone, nothing that I could just mindlessly go on my phone for. Now, what I had realized is throughout the 2 weeks after I had started, I was just impulsively going to pick up my phone and just to realize there was nothing to do on it. No one texted me, no one Snapchatted me or anything. So it was kind of funny and almost like humiliating to myself that I kept reaching for that habit. And you know, as time went on after those 2 weeks, I really felt like I could be present where I was at the moment and enjoy the things around me in real life. So that would be number 1. That's a very simplified, dumbed down version of a dopamine detox. Now on to number 2. For number 2, it's reward hacking. I think there's a better term, but that's what I'll call it. Reward hacking is where you take something that you really like to do. So for me, if that's playing chess on my phone, what I'll do is I'll take that fun habit that I get a lot of dopamine out of, or scrolling or something, right? Doom scrolling. I'll take that bad habit that I enjoy a lot, and I'll pair it with a habit that I need to keep that I do not enjoy. So for instance, if I were to be on the treadmill and doing cardio, and I have to do that throughout the whole cut season, and every day I'm doing it and I'm dreading it, I don't want to do it, I'll schedule my day so that I'm not allowed to doom scroll, I'm not allowed to play chess unless I'm on the treadmill. What that does over time is that will associate the dopamine of playing chess or scrolling with the activity you don't like to do. After a while of you ingraining this in your head that, okay, the treadmill is the way that I get this dopamine, your brain will subconsciously associate the pleasure of doing that activity of the doom scrolling or playing chess or whatnot with the activity you don't like to do. So every day you'll find yourself more and more looking forward to do these tasks that you wouldn't necessarily like to do in the first place. And for number 3, the last one, what I would say is to, we've talked about this a lot in the past, but it's time blocking. Now, I'm sure a lot of you, as well as myself, have had that moment where you're scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. You look up and it's been 2 hours, And so time blocking this is a great way to schedule it into your life and not completely, like I said, dive headfirst into the deep end and eventually burn out. Because a lot of times when we try to go really hard into these one things, all of a sudden, like I always say, diets, that's the biggest thing. If you try and completely cut out junk food, you're gonna burn out. A lot of people will try that. They'll say, okay, I'm done for now, and then they'll go binge for one day. So if we implement this into our day in a scheduled regimen, essentially what it will do is it can, for one, act as a reward. So if it's after a hard task, you'll take, say, 20 minutes of your day. You'll say, okay, after I'm done with this, I get 20 minutes of scrolling. Now, to properly do this, you'll have to write it ahead of time and not play it by ear, and you have to set a timer. The timer is important because it is a clear sign as to when to start and when to stop. That way you don't find yourself looking down the whole day and you look up and, oh my God, there goes the day. This is also really good because science has actually proven that if you were to work for instance, 2 hours straight, a small break in between when you keep working, it is actually beneficial to your focus and to your productivity. So scheduling, 2-3 of these a day for 20 minutes where, in the middle of a task, after a task, you get 20 minutes of allotted doom scrolling or playing a video game. That way you're able to monitor and know how much time a day you're actually spending doom scrolling and wasting your life. Now with these 3 things put together, even if you do one at a time, you will definitely see a huge improvement in your life. And like I said, when I did the whole dopamine detox, it brought so much life back to me that I didn't know was gone because, it's just kind of masked. So don't let them take over your brain. Stay positive, get back to work, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I helped at least one person out there. I'll see you guys tomorrow.